Okay, let's start 8-6, independent and dependent events. Please be sure to take notes during the video, and that's what you will bring to class tomorrow. Let's start. Independent events. Here's our definition. One event does not influence or change the probability of the second event. What that means is I can do one thing and then do another, and neither one changes by doing them both. I can flip a coin and spin a spinner. Just because I flipped the coin doesn't change the spinner and how many different colors I can land on or whatever it is. So some events, even though I'm doing two things at once, they're not going to affect each other. So one example would be rolling a die and flipping a coin. Okay, I could also flip a coin and then spin on one of those color wheels. Okay, so just because I'm doing two things doesn't mean that they're dependent on each other. They exist independently. One event does not influence or affect or change the probability of the second one. I could also, if I have a bag of marbles, I could choose a marble, replace it, and then pick another marble. As long as I replace it, pick another marble. It's an independent event. Here's your definition for dependent event. One event does influence or change the second event. So an example would be choosing a marble, or let's change it to something. So let's choose one Skittle from the bag and then choose a second one. Okay, I'm not going to replace the Skittle in the bag. I want to eat it. So I'm changing the probability the second time around because one Skittle is no longer in the bag. Choosing teammates would be one. If I want Mrs. A on my team, then when it's time for Mr. Nevin to pick his team, he can't pick Mrs. A because I've already chosen. So choosing teammates would be another one. Another dependent event is when I'm choosing the number sticks like we did in science yesterday. Okay, once your number got picked and you got to help with our experiment, I did not put your number stick back in the cup. I left it on the table so that way someone else would have a higher probability of being chosen. So number sticks, as long as I'm not replacing, it's dependent. Just like how an independent, as long as you replace the marble, it's independent. If you do not replace it, it is dependent. Here's a couple examples. You roll a 3 on one die and a 2 on another die. Since each of them is separate, okay, just because I'm rolling two of two different number cubes doesn't mean that one will change the other one. So because of that, they are independent. I can roll a 2 on one and a 3 on the other, and it doesn't change anything. Example B, Mateo chooses a teammate, then Isabella chooses a teammate. Whoever Mateo chose as a teammate, Isabella can't choose anymore because you can't be a teammate on two different teams at the same time. So that means because it's a teammate being chosen and no longer available, that makes it dependent. Example C, Olivia chooses a pencil. She puts it back and chooses a second pencil. Both pencils have awesome erasers. The key in this one is that she puts it back. If the pencil is replaced, then it is an independent event. Okay? Just because they both have awesome erasers, yay, awesome, but that doesn't actually affect our probability. So as long as the pencil is replaced and puts it back is another way of saying that it's replaced, it is independent. Bodhi chooses a book on the shelf, then Jordan chooses a book from the remaining books. The question here is, does Bodhi replace the book? In the question, does it say that he puts it back right away before Jordan chooses? Since it doesn't, this is a dependent. Okay? If it's not replaced, that makes it a dependent event. All right? Thank you for taking notes and learning these new vocabulary words. Bring your notes tomorrow, and then we will practice creating our own independent and dependent events. Good night, everyone. Bye.